Hello everyone and welcome to another Transformers third party review brought to you all by the team over at Robot Kingdom. In today's video we're taking a slightly ahead of schedule look at Perfect Effects, their Perfect Beast line, the PE-DX09B. This is their Psychro Knight. So I guess that's meant to be their take on Psycho Knight, but this is of course based on the Robots in Disguise Cryotek, who in turn was a repaint of the very gorgeous Transmetal Megatron from Beasties. Quick look around the box, we've got Cryotek on the front there, and on the side we've got that schematical drawing on the back, and of course we've got a quick QR code to take you through to Perfect Effects. Much like their Mega Dragon, he comes packaged in a rather large plastic clamshell. And just like his fiery compadre, all of his sections come disassembled. Now we do get additional features with this mould, especially love the added sculpt on the end there, making it very much similar to his original counterpart. Now we can remove this, and if you choose to, you can put the more dragon-esque nose section on. I'll cover that when we get to dragon mode. And of course we get the wings done in this beautiful translucent blue. Absolutely adore these. In fact, I still stand by my Mega Dragon being one of the best figures that I got last year. He was definitely within my top 10, both him and their Prime, and we get a really nice tailpiece. Again, this all has to be added on afterwards, and of course we get the swords, which also slide into the top to those tabs on the top of the wings. Now, being pre-production, I may have to go around and just tighten some of these screws, but the idea is to slide the wing panels over these tabs at the back, and then they can arch at the back there. This one here is a little bit droopy, so I can probably tighten this screw on the other side there just to counteract that. And as you can see, I've got a tab just at the top. This is where this ball socket is going to go. That's going to just slide in like so, and he's definitely starting to look more and more like his cryo self. We can bring these arms forwards, maybe bring the shield section up slightly. And of course we do have the option with this arm to split this open, lift this all the way up, rock this piece up on a hinge, and there's a tab just on here. This is going to locate on either side of that head, like so. So we've now got a large cannon section on the arm, where we can make better use of his articulation, but absolutely adore how he looks. I think it's a tough one, but I think I may even prefer him to their Megatron. It's a tough call, but I always wanted Cryotek. I remember when it was on clearance at one point, and it was ridiculously cheap. But I was young and I didn't have the money. Now it is extortionately priced, and it's actually the chase version of the two. It's the harder to get. And here we have him all shimmering and shining in his gorgeous metallic paint scheme. Adore how he looks with those kind of ice blades, and the colours they've used are stunning. I love that mix of the aquamarine and those deep dark metallic blues. It's an incredible looking figure. It's just a matter of how I'm going to display him, where I'm going to display him, because I really love this bot mode, but those wings do take up an awful lot of room, and I'm kind of tempted to have him mounted on the wall, kind of soaring down. But absolutely adore how this looks. Stand by my initial reaction that I think I prefer this to their Megatron. I mean, it's a tough push. Both are very good looking figures. It's just something about these blues. It just screams Cryotek. They've done an amazing job. I absolutely adore the face sculpt on there as well. Love how that looks. Now the option is there if you choose to switch out the face. Now this didn't come with any replacement faces. I don't know if it's something that's going to get included with the final release or not, but the Megatron faces that came with your Mega Dragon will of course fit, and it's the same way to change those out. Just tilt the head back and pull this section off. But that's a really good looking sculpt. I love that kind of mechanical grill over the face there, almost like a Dr. Freeze breathing apparatus. His wings as well. Articulation wise, the head is still somewhat hindered by this neck piece, but if we move that up, we can look up really nicely, and down we can go left and we can go right, but like I said, it is somewhat hindering, but that is the nature of the beast, unfortunately. The shoulders can come up to the side like so. They've got this rocking hinge. These shoulder pads do indeed move as well. We have forwards on a ratchet there, upper bicep rotation, we have a bend on the elbow, lovely piston disappearing and reappearing on there. We have rotation on the wrist, and we have articulated fingers, albeit they have only a single pin on each. Coming down to the waist, we do rotate. We do have a lovely abdominal punch. We have hip skirts to the front and to the rear, allowing for legs to go this far forwards, this far back, out to the side, upper thigh rotation, bend on the knee, and the feet can come forwards and backwards on the ankle. We do have tilt up and down on the toe, and we do have a wonderful ankle pivot on those as well. Coming round to the back here, the wings are articulated outwards, and we can go upwards, and then of course we can spread the wings as well. Each one of these moves independently. I mean, just look at him with those wings spread out. He looks like something from Gundam Seed or something, doesn't he? I mean, just look at these three together. Don't they look beautiful? Yes. And a little bit of RID love there as well, with Optimus Prime and Black Convoy, friend or foe. And here we have him alongside the Transform Elements Optimus Prime, same size as MP10, and of course the Perfect Effects Beast Gorilla. Right, I think that's comparisons aside. I think we've covered enough bases there, so let's get him transformed up into his dragon mode. First port of action is to lift the head up, but this time give it a small tug, and that's going to disengage from this point here. This comes up. This whole section here is going to rotate around so that the tail comes up over the front. And now that we've moved that tail out of the way, we can see we've got this bracket here. This entire bracket will now come down to the base. These dino arms are going to come up at a right angle so that the claws are on top, and then we can lift this section up and then out and across there into the center. These shoulder tabs are going to rotate 90 degrees, holding this arm joint. This middle section here is going to rotate around to the front. Do that on both sides, and then we can rotate the shield, flipping the blade inwards, bring the fist upwards like so into the underside of the shield. We have these tabs on the side of the torso. They're going to untab and untab. This panel then lifts up, and then looking at this back piece, this is going to rock all the way up like so. It's kind of really difficult to do it all on camera, but I'm sure I'll manage. This time we're going to rotate this entire piece, including the lower forearm, 90 degrees so that the shield is facing backwards. Now, unfortunately, being a pre-production sample and a test shot, this has actually been put on back to front. If you look, the smooth edge here This is meant to collapse down, and of course it's not going to collapse down because it's got this rugged section here, so it won't collapse down at a 90-degree bend. It's actually meant to collapse down onto this side. So what I'm going to have to do, I'm going to have to take this part here apart, just unscrew the screw on the back of this arm, unplug this piece, and hopefully just reverse it around on this joint here, and hopefully that should fix the issue. Well, that's certainly a lot more complex than what I thought it was going to be. I took these panels here off, realised that these are only shallow on one side, so I actually had to then take these screws off as well, switch these two over, switch this and this over, and there we have it. There we have some working arms. Now this needs to be at this kind of 90-degree angle, and then it's going to rotate 180 degrees, and we've got this tab here and this here, and we have a tab on here and a tab on the crotch. So these are going to line up, round, and as you can see, I'm just going to slide that inside like so, and then the crotch is going to just push and tab in like that. You may have noticed I've just removed the wings. That's sheerly because they keep dragging against my base, making too much noise, and you can't see what I'm doing. In reality, they will be hanging down here at the back. Shouldn't interfere with the transformation up the top end here at all, but they really do interfere with how much I can capture on camera. We have this translucent panel piece here. That's going to rotate all the way around, and then this is going to sit flat like so, and we're going to bend this hinge up so it's at a 90-degree bend like so. Dragon arm comes out to the side. This comes all the way up. Grabbing this section here, we're going to pivot the dragon head section around like so. Now of course I have the fist out at the moment. That's needs to be rectified. We need to just untab from this neck section. This is going to come all the way up and over the fist like so, and then these are going to come in either side and just tab in around that neck. We can then bring this section up, and that's going to come into the middle. This panel here is going to come back up, and that's going to shift and tab in like so. This will then come in to this void, and that's going to tab in on the back panel like so, and this just sits on the front there. I absolutely adore that added piece on the dragon skull. These shoulders then come back in, and they are going to slide and rotate down, covering off this void. These panels here are going to push up and just tab in either side of this torso, and then bring these dragon arms down, slide those in, and then push this piece here around, sliding and locking that into position. And then move our little dragon arms around, bring the robot legs out, and then arch them at the top of the thigh, and just make sure that this section here is fully locked in like so. So it's now completely covered. Come to the knees, flip this tab here up. That now allows this piece here to compress like so. This comes up, this rocks like so. The feet then come up. The tail section comes all the way around, and that's going to slide and tab in to the front of that crown piece, and then we can start displaying him. And look at that, that is a thing of beauty. He is a complete and utter beast former. Adore how that looks, especially with that kind of armoured section over the top of the head. It's very kind of fire and ice, very Game of Thrones. Really do appreciate the work that's gone into this. Yes, it is in essence just a repaint, but it's a darn good one. I love those eyes kind of poking through on the dragon there. There we go. And I found out that David Kay, the Beast Wars Megatron, voiced the dragon that featured in Teen Titans, created by the song When I Look at You. And we had David Cave as the giant dragon. Very welcome and very lovely nod. What we can do, we can push down like so and just pop that off. Then we have a kind of noseless dragon, and then we can just slide the added nose piece over if you see fit. Personally, I prefer the Cryotek style helmeted look, but I know there's a few of you that do like your dragons to look more like dragons, so there we go. That's the alternative head. And of course, if a giant ice-breathing dragon isn't enough for you, we convert him into his vehicle mode. You fold these arms over and they tab into themselves. You want to bring this joint down. That will then allow this leg to collapse up like so. These come down. The thrusters go around. This piece slides inwards, and this is going to just tab in the other side of it, locking into position. And then we have this groove here, and that's going to push and line in like so. Make sure that these heel spurs are back. The tail can then come up. And there we have him in his ground mode, which is how I'm going to display him, said nobody ever. I guess it's nice that they've kind of included the ground mode, although I haven't pushed my legs down correctly on the other side. It's nice that they included that option, but let's face it, it's him bent over with wheels on his knees, very much like the original toy. Most people, I would imagine, are going to display this in his bot mode, or maybe even that dragon mode. I can't see many people doing it in this mode, but the option is there nonetheless. They have once again nailed an amazingly good figure. Very well done. Shame I had to switch around those shoulders, but if I could do it, then anybody else can, and I'm sure that's something that's going to be rectified for the final release. Thanks again to Robot Kingdom for making this early preview possible, and until next time, from myself and Perfect Effects take on Cryotek, thanks for watching, goodbye.